So there was some breaking news in the world of Formula One, pretty big deal, and it's not Nico Hulkenberg getting his first podium.
SVG just continues to dominate Chicago, and we look at the Iceman from Mid Ohio.
And we're going to talk a little iRacing, our bottom split series. We got the Indy Racing World Series coming back next week and the season finale of Wednesday Night Dash. We'll talk all about that and more right now. All right, welcome to an all new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Fluck.
Eric Richardson.
And Eric's still working on his permanent setup for the new recording. Today he's got some roosters or chickens or something.
We have some roosters.
Roosters. All right,
Small
so
reference to Top Gun Maverick.
rooster. Good point. Yeah, there you go. So I have my I wanted to show this last week, but I forgot. But this is a my Disneyland cup. This is really stupid, Darth Vader, and the lid flips open, and I've got my beer in here. So I'll be drinking my beer out of Darth Vader's head tonight. That's unusual. It's not the most well thought out cup. Like it's like hitting my head, my hat, trying to go for my beer. Probably should have just left it in the can, but
Yes, just the bottle.
just the bottle. Eric, I heard there was some breaking news in Formula One.
Yeah, Red Bull's got some changes coming up.
Do they? Is it Sugar Free Red Bull is the new team name? I believe that's the headline.
Yeah, something like that.
Red Bull
It's
Summer
not
Edition.
it's not involving Max. It is
Well, it indirectly may.
it could, but as of now, it is in reference to Christian Horner.
And he no longer works for Red Bull, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, I heard some grumblings that could happen, but it did.
Eh, the some of the rumors that are going around are if there's any chance Max stays at Red Bull, Horner would have to go. I mean, their feud has been pretty well documented over the last couple of years. So, was this move a Red Bull last ditch effort to try to keep Max?
Maybe. I could almost see Vegas starting up the odds. Is he going to stay at Red Bull or is he leaving?
Well, it's also wild too that his release clause fee is reportedly over $100 million.
I see 102 million and saw something else that Mercedes may be willing to pay it.
That's just, I mean, he is the best driver in the world. And the fact that they're showing his stats with the with his car, and he was the what was he like the 18th fastest in the turns, but like fastest in on the straights or something crazy like that. It just
I haven't seen it.
yeah, it's just that car is just not good.
And it's being proven because nobody in that second seat over the past really year and a half, maybe 2 seasons worth of races has done anything with it.
It's unreal. It just
That car continues to go downhill.
what could happen over the next like I don't know 6 to 8 months in Formula One will be just wild, just cinema
Well, if he
on.
does go to Merck, that's a huge toss up. Who do you keep? Who do you get rid of? Do
Oh,
you flip?
you know who they're gonna keep.
Hmm.
Yeah, I so do we see a George for Max swap? It almost seems like that's what they would do.
That'd be hilarious to see.
They can continue their feud just sitting on the opposite side now, which would be hilarious.
Then what overall happens with the entirety of Red Bull, especially with Honda going away?
Yeah, you got Ford
Did
coming in
Yuki
next year.
stay? They get 2 new drivers.
This is going to be a very interesting couple of years for Red Bull, I think. And There is another interesting stat today is that today's the first day in Kimi Antonelli's life that Christian Horner hasn't been the principal at Red Bull.
Yeah, it's now the longest standing one is Toto Wolff.
Total Wolf.
The after that's what 2022
I
or
think like
23.
James Vowles at Williams is like the next longest tenured in
I saw it earlier. I
Stella.
think there's two more that are actually been around longer.
Stella at McLaren, I think, was up there as well, but they're way, way behind Total Wolf.
Yeah, it's crazy. Almost an entire new switch up of team principals over all the teams.
But before we get too far into this, how about Nico Hulkenberg?
Finally got a podium.
He is now one for 239. And it's unfair, really, because he's a good driver. He just has never had anything beyond a mid ride ever.
More
And
points Salvers now scored in 2 seasons than they did it in one race. I did not fact check that, but it's probably
it's
close,
probably close.
considering they spent most of last year at zero.
Yeah, it was just what was it, the last race where they finally got a point or two.
Hmm.
But Nico, he's on the podium for the first time, and you have to feel for Lando. Lando Norris wins his home race finally, and everybody's chanting Nico because he finally broke that streak of what was it, like 15 years? Yeah, like his career started in 2010, and everyone's
Yeah,
chanting
I see a lot
Nico,
of
and
people giving grief to the McLaren drivers because they didn't just immediately go and shower him with the champagne. They went to their one other team member up on stage and all because they're like, "Hey guys,"
hey, I'm here too.
and I hear
But
everybody else going, "If like Max or even George or Lewis, they would have
oh
put the
yeah.
center of attention on Nico."
Well, it's funny too with Kick, they didn't have any champagne because why would they?
But Mercedes and Aston Martin sent some over.
Yeah, good on them. I mean, it shows you one how respected the guy is among his peers, and it just well a friend of mine made a comment like you wait all this time to finally stand on the podium, and they give you a trophy made out of Lego.
Yeah, there's the real one too, but they all got Legos.
Yeah.
I know Lego and Formula One were teasing like we have something golden coming up. Watch the race.
Well, and McLaren broke their constructors trophy during the celebration. But hey, it's Lego. What do you expect? But
It was kind of a
overall,
wild race.
it was pretty exciting.
Rain was the Piastri penalty warranted.
You know what? I still haven't seen it. I don't know what he did.
So they
I
were
woke up
under
good.
they were under caution, and the safety car is getting ready to come in. And basically, what it comes down to, Piastri put 60 psi of brake force and moving to almost in a crawl, and there was so much spray coming off the cars, almost caused a pile up from P2 back.
He, I didn't watch most of the race. It was one that just it was too early for me to wake up to care to watch live. But then I woke up and I saw Hulkenberg third. I was like, wait, what? And I had to go back and watch. I watched the rain. I watched that part, and
Yeah, the checkup from Piastri almost took out well, ended up getting Max to spin 3, 4, 5. They almost wrecked into each other, and you can't see anything going on.
and on top of that, Nico started 19th. He went
Yeah,
19th to third, and I mean, you gotta love these rain races. It's almost like we need every race to have rain because it always provides some level of unexpected excitement.
yeah, it does something besides just parading around.
I mean, we had the Alpine double podium in Brazil last year, the last time we had a really good rain race. And next rain race, we've got Nico Hulkenberg finally getting on the podium, which
Yeah,
is
they started
phenomenal.
on intermediates. Some of them went to the slicks, and others stayed on. And George at one point was like, "We should not be running right now."
Yeah, that's kind of
Then you
George.
get the penalties, and um, I think Yuki got another penalty for driving into another car. I feel like every race, it's almost guaranteed he is going to drive into somebody.
Have you ever seen that
Finally
video
got in
of
a Red Bull, and then it's lost talent.
have you ever seen that video of it's kind of like this James Bond parody thing and they call it and it's like you have this song and it makes fun of George Russell and how he's such a narc out there and it's just like these clips where they're singing like a like a James Bond type like pre-movie song and the clips are Russell like Max is over the line. He's sitting there and all the clips are just him like he cut the corner, he cut the corner. He's just sitting there playing these clips over and over again of him just calling out drivers
Yeah,
for.
I kind of wonder, like, did he play soccer at some point?
That's
I feel like soccer
pretty
is
much a guarantee.
basically that they get tapped on the shoulder and then they fall down with their leg in
Who
pain.
was it? There was a former, I think it was, there was a former soccer player from England, and his name is Ashley Young, played for Manchester United for several years. And I want to say Lewis Hamilton played soccer with him as a kid. And it's just like, yeah, I'm not, doesn't really surprise me that, you get somebody that goes pro and it's like, oh yeah, my youth teammate was Lewis Hamilton.
That'd be wild.
Oh man. But yeah, it was an exciting race. Like I said, I meant to go back and watch the Piastri incident and I haven't. It's funny
I
too.
should check that out.
You can always tell every time we have a double McLaren podium, whoever is finishing second always looks like super mopey up there. It doesn't matter which one, if it's Piastri or Lando, and they're standing second, and they just look super mopey, and it's. I feel like they're starting to see some people tiring of McLaren already.
Yeah, Piastri wasn't happy about the penalty. It's a 10-second time penalty he took in the pits and ended up losing,
I
what,
think
by
he
six
lost
and a
by,
half seconds.
yeah, I think he lost by like 6 seconds or something like that.
So should have had it. He didn't think the penalty was warranted, but I think what did I see is 250 kilometers down to 50 kilometers per hour
That's a pretty drastic drop.
in heavy rain and a massive brake pressure.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't give him a penalty doing that.
And that's what the stewards did. And I saw somebody trying to compare it to George Russell a couple weeks ago, and it's like he did half the braking and it was also dry.
Yep. So, do you want to do Arizona man versus Florida man?
Yeah, I guess it's
Or
time for
Florida,
that
I guess it's
segment. Huh?
Florida man versus Arizona man. So, we didn't look to see how the voting went last week, but
We got to
Florida
get used to
man,
a new segment, so it's on us. Florida man, when I got here, civilians actually helped out with the arrest of this one. Man pretty much attempted to steal about $1,500 worth of merchandise from a Lowe's. And then once he realized he wasn't going to be able to get away with it, he jumped on the back of a UPS truck to try and get away. There's actually a picture. You see him just like sitting on the step, just cruising down the road.
it's not.
Eventually, they got caught up and he got busted. Be kind of
Oh,
funny driving down the road like that's a guy sitting on the back of a UPS truck. What is going on?
it's like Marty McFly and Back to the Future with his skateboard. And he's just like hooking onto the back of trucks.
Yeah,
All
just
right,
hanging out, riding along.
all right. So the Arizona man, a 29-year-old, received multiple Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. last Friday. They received multiple calls for a water truck. If you ever see like construction sites, especially out here where it's really dry, they have these water trucks and they spray. There's hoses that hook to it and they spray the water so they can like dig for construction. They said there was a white water truck that was swerving all over the road on the highway. And the 29-year-old, the police responded near the town of Mesa, which is in the East Valley, relatively close to where I live. And they found him and cutting over onto I-10, which is, east, and it cuts south and goes through Phoenix, and decided that this man was not going to pull over for the police. So the police turned onto a high speed chase, medium speed chase, 1 o'clock Friday afternoon, chasing a water. They tried to do the spike strips, got around it, and ultimately he pulled over, gave up, gave himself up, and was arrested. Was charged with DUI, and they later determined that he had stolen the water truck. So, Friday afternoon, 1 p.m., drunk man steals a water truck and takes it for a joyride on the highway and has
Sounds like good
our
fun.
the highway patrol around here, they call it like the Department of Public Safety or DPS. So the DPS troopers chased this man for like 30 miles. Oh, don't drink and drive, people.
No,
Don't do
please
it.
don't.
But a water truck? I just want to know, where did he find, like, did he just like walk up to a construction site, see like an unoccupied water truck, and just jump in and take off?
Had
And
to have.
and the question is, why didn't nobody notice the water truck was stolen off the construction site? Like, so I have so many questions about this that we do not have. Uh, but yeah, they started near downtown Phoenix and ran another 22 miles before he finally gave himself up. So, Arizona man.
Live in the area and know more information on any of these, feel free to share.
Yes. So vote for the crazy story of the week between Florida man and Arizona man. And yes, if you have a suggestion for a story of Florida man versus Arizona man, please send them our way. We'll read it on the air. And if you send it, we'll give you credit for it too. Uh, this week's story I found through ChatGPT. So thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah, I check out Fox 35. They have a section on their website just dedicated to Florida Man.
So great.
News based out of Orlando.
Oh, that's so good. Anyway, Florida man, Arizona man. Week two, we're on the way there. So NASCAR went up to my old home of Chicago, ran the Third Street race, and SVG
Wins again.
wins again. I still like I saw a meme that was making fun of Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, and they said that SVG has more wins in Chicago than Caleb Williams does, the Bears quarterback.
Yeah, SVG's 4-1.
And he could have been 5-0 too. That's pretty
Yeah, from
wild.
for a rep last year, he was leading that thing too.
Just for how uninspiring he's been on the ovals. He owns that course. He's so good on it.
It's funny, I saw earlier, and it's true. If he can win this weekend at Sonoma, he'll be tied with Hamlin, Larson, Bell for most wins in the season.
He, I have to say, somebody submitted or put a prompt into ChatGPT asking it what its thoughts are about NASCAR. And it pointed out something that was kind of interesting that I've not really thought about, but I think I agree with it, is that NASCAR for years was they would go to Watkins Glen, they would go to Sonoma, and that was it. Those were your
Yep,
two road
two road
courses.
races a year.
Yep. But now, you've mixed Coda into the place. You've had the Chicago street race. They've got rumors of more street racing going on. You've got the Roval mixed in there.
They've been
Uh,
at Road America in the past.
Road America in the past. You've had, yeah, it's just NASCAR has done a much better job on, excuse me, on the road course racing in recent years, and I think I agree with that. The
Their current cars are much better road course
Yeah,
cars than ovals.
I mean they're okay on the one and a
The
half
intermediate's been good.
intermediates. Yeah, the 1.5 intermediates, and then you look at the super speedways. It's like, if you could not like half throttle it, that would be cool. But
And I think Hamlin was right after the Atlanta. You give those cars a little bit of space, and you could actually see stuff happening. But when they're just nose to tail too wide, you are stuck.
yeah, but the Chicago street race probably going to be the last one. I don't think the this was set up through the last mayor who's no longer in office and the new current mayor who's not very popular already doesn't seem to be in favor of this event. And it is very, it is a major disruption. It is the 4th of
Yeah.
July weekend. But I think these races have been extremely compelling
For as narrow as the track is, there's actually a lot of side by side racing.
until, you had Carson Hocevar pop that wall.
Yeah,
It
they had
cost,
what the huge traffic jam in the first race.
yeah, actually just past that area too, actually. Yeah, that area where you're coming over the bridge and then you go up Michigan Avenue, it gets really tight through there, and the spotters just can't see over there. So it's just like, why do these guys just plowing into each other? Well, they don't know. Like,
Come around the corner and like, oh, I can't stop fast enough.
but yeah, that was the probably the unfortunate part of the race. Rain held off. That was good. There was like an 80% chance of rain on Sunday,
Yeah,
and
we
it
looked earlier in the week and was like, oh man, this is gonna rain again.
even a day before there was still like a 60% chance of rain for Sunday during race time, and it didn't happen. We had a dry race. Cody Ware,
Oh yeah.
the
NASCAR race control under fire again.
that brake failure, is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, I think it's brake failure. Did you see the clip from the Spectator?
I did, yeah,
You just see
and
the car fly into the barriers.
yeah, and you just see this car just come out of nowhere and just plow into the tires, and you see the guy who's standing there with he had the flags and like kind of jump. It's like, yeah, I would jump too.
Like a good thing I can think to resemble that. It's like watching Ross Chastain at Martinsville when he did the wall ride, and you're like, what, did I
what?
just see what I saw? I was
Well,
like, yeah,
and
that's a
on the,
tire or a car planted in tires.
I mean, on the broadcast, you didn't see the accident happen because why would you be following Cody Ware on the last lap or last couple of laps? But man, he plowed in there, and then they just show him and he's just buried in the tires, and fortunately, it looked like he was okay, got out. Uh,
I saw somewhere he may have asked for help on the radio.
I think he got out on his own though. I mean, I could be wrong, but
He probably got
he,
the wind knocked out of him, I bet.
yeah, oh yeah.
Easy.
He so somebody got the front end of Cody Ware's car and put it on like Facebook Marketplace and was trying to sell it for $1,000. And but what they did, they put that it was SVG's front end on the post. And then they cut it to
Oh,
$500, and it was on Reddit. Somebody found a screenshot of it and put it on Reddit. But yeah, they're trying to say this was the front end of SVG's car, but you can clearly tell it was the Arby's. It said like cheesesteaks on the front of the car. Do you see the shade Arby's was throwing during the race?
no. I'm trying to think. I got in just at the end of stage one.
So, so when Bubba was spun out, there was a shot where they had all the Arby's banners around the track. Arby's invested heavily in this race, and they had like this way for the Arby's cheesesteak, and Bubba and his McDonald's car was turned sideways, and you have all the Arby's banners behind it, and Arby's social media was just milking that, making fun of McDonald's in the process. And it's just like, oh, I love it. I love these fast food wars on social media.
Yeah, how about that battle there at the end between Bubba and Alex Bowman?
It was good till Bowman's like, yep, see ya.
Well, I guess that's what's gonna happen too when you try to drive a car into a wall.
Yeah,
And then when you do
that'll
that and
happen.
you're not quite clear, you're gonna go around. I
They,
did read today, Hamlin is kind of like, Bubba, like, come on, let's race. Let's pick it up
I
here.
mean, they had a, I don't know if I'd even call it a confrontation. They spoke afterwards, and all the cameras were shoved in their faces. Like, are these guys gonna, start fighting? And
Yeah, it's actually Bowman was giving interviews under bad pretenses.
it just,
But they talked for like it's racing. We're cool.
yeah.
But Hamlin was kind of like the angle he was taking was, hey, let's work on our finishing positions. Give up a spot, just get to the end of a race.
Uh,
So I think he's starting to get a little frustrated too that that team's not getting better finishes.
oh, and Daniel Suarez is out of a job at the end of the year.
Yep.
So the other story is the in-season challenge, which is like, okay. I mean, it. Everyone loves brackets. We love our NCAA brackets, but it's like, I mean, it's more amusing than anything because Ty Dillon
Is
is
moving
still
on.
is still alive because Keselowski was out early. I think Dillon, what did he finish in like the 20s or something like that?
Yeah,
So we're down to our, can we call it Elite Eight or is that
I guess you
trademarked?
can.
Well, they call it Challenge Round 3. So you have the 32 seed, the Cinderella, mind you, of Ty Dillon, still alive, and versus the A seed of Alex Bowman, as we just
Coming
discussed.
up to Sonoma.
And the next one is a all Legacy Motor Club battle between John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones. Let's look at who John Hunter and Eric Jones had to battle to get here. So you had Bell and Stenhouse Jr., which Stenhouse moved on. You had Chastain and Jones. Jones moved on. You had Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott. Elliott won previous week, so he moved on. And then Josh Berry and John Hunter. So then Nemechek and Elliott, and then Jones and Stenhouse. And now you have a Legacy Motor Club third round going into Sonoma. John Hunter, Nemechek, Eric Jones.
All because of chaos at Atlanta with a 23 car pileup.
Chaos at Atlanta, and then street race chaos early on. But the other side of the bracket is, it's a little. You have Ryan Preece, who's a 15 seed, versus the 23rd seed Tyler Reddick. And then down on the bottom corner, you have the 6th seed of Ty Gibbs versus the 14 seed of Zane Smith. When we started this 2 weeks ago, did you see out of all this group, Reddick, yes, Bowman, maybe, the rest of them, no.
No, I would have had him out after the second round.
I mean, Hocevar dumped himself early on in the race, so Reddick was like, "Thank you." That is
Just,
wild. And then we've got Sonoma coming up, and then you have Dover in their, last four. I don't know if we can say Final Four because the NCAA probably owns that trademark too. And then the championship round will be at the Brickyard, before we switch over to NBC.
yeah, TNT is catching a little bit of flack for
Yeah, the broadcasts haven't been good.
missing a few things.
And the thing too is like you can't blame the crew because it's the same crew we had on Prime. Well, in the booth. Shannon Spake was taking some heat as well for her pre-race coverage, but you know, I mean, does NASCAR get to the point where it's just like let's just put this thing on Prime and just say heck with it?
I don't know. They catch flack from every which way,
You
and
can't win. Like you can't win.
need to see the rest of the TNT races, see how it goes.
I haven't had TNT. I'm trying to remember the last time NASCAR had TNT and who was in the booth for that. I feel like it was like Wally Dallenbach and like Bill Weber.
I don't remember.
It's been a while. NASCAR on.
Still gonna be tough to beat the Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons combo.
I mean, rest in peace, both of them. But man, they were
They're good.
the other one is Ned Jarrett. Remember when Ned Jarrett was in the booth? He just did
Yeah,
not have the voice of an announcer, but you felt like he belonged there. NASCAR on TNT. Yeah, yeah. In 2007, 2014, Bill Weber and Wally Dallenbach Jr. Was started with Benny Parsons until he died. And then, yeah, there you go. My brain still works.
it's
I still remember that. TNT, I'm just flipping through Wikipedia here. Uh, During the 2008 broadcast of the LifeLock 400, Larry McReynolds performed a magic trick, quote, cutting Mark Fine in half while green flag racing was taking place on the track. This came at the dismay and outrage of many fans and viewers. TNT also missed the winning pass of the 2008 Coke Zero 400 when a last lap crash involving Michael Waltrip took out several cars. When it was all said and done, TNT panned over to Carl Edwards, who prematurely celebrated his victory, thinking he had the lead when the caution came out. Because the crash occurred, the field is frozen, and Kyle Busch ended up winning that race.
so what do we think with the remaining races of the regular season? Do we see four or more winners or first time winners?
Probably not. I mean,
'Cause we're at 12.
you've got what? Sonoma, Dover, Indy, Daytona are your four. I mean,
Yeah, it's Daytona's
Sonoma,
what, August 23rd.
yeah, so Sonoma is, one of your road course ringers, probably. Daytona, crapshoot. Anybody.
That's
I,
anyone's race. You get up front, you have a chance.
I mean, we've seen like Cody Ware going for the win at Daytona. Or I think
Got Harrison Burton a couple seasons
Paris,
ago.
well, that was last year. That wasn't that
Was
long
it? Yeah,
ago.
it was last year.
That was
Jeez.
last year. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
just
it was.
last year. That
Never
wasn't even a
mind.
year ago.
And it feels like it's been that long.
With the iconic Jeff, your little boy has done it.
If I can find a way to do it, I want to go to the race, but it's
Lee,
probably not going to happen this year. I'll just
Lee,
wait till Daytona 500 next year.
I mean, go to one of the
I may
yeah,
look at the Xfinity.
yeah, go to Xfinity. Like, kid, you bring your kid.
What I fully intend to do though is take him to the Rolex 24 practice.
Ooh,
Let
that'd
him
be
see the
fun.
cars up close. I think he'll like the Rexy.
I mean, who wouldn't?
He likes dinosaurs, so why
I
not?
mean, I need to find a way. I'll have to find a way out to the Rolex one of these years. So now that I got a place to stay, sort of.
Yeah, once we get all squared away, open invite. Come on out.
Yeah, I still want to do that karting race on the Daytona road course that they do at the end of December. I don't think that would go very well with the boss, but um
I'm gonna get slapped for it probably, but I need a guys' weekend at some point. So if it's racing related, I'll take it.
yeah, it's just oh God. The thing is, I was looking through like my life insurance says I can't do skydiving, but it doesn't say anything about high speed karting or auto racing. So,
Loopholes.
oh man.
The funny
Yeah.
thing is, my wife can actually hear what I just said, so
Mine can't. The door is closed. And I know she doesn't watch or listen to this because she would
I'm
just
getting
get,
a head shake right now.
yeah, yeah. Cameo, cameo, cameo.
I think it's going to be respectfully declined for today.
Can she hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad I didn't say anything too stupid. Quickly changing the subject before we get you in trouble or get me in trouble any further than I already am. Uh, Shout out to our partner Pit Boss. I posted tonight. I I'm on the wrong side of 40, and I've been eyeing this for a while, and I bought myself a smoker for my backyard, and gonna go pick up a nice pork shoulder tomorrow. We're gonna prep that. We're gonna put that in there and let that cook for like 12 hours or whatever. I'm gonna make some pulled pork Saturday night in my smoker. So shout out
There
to
you
Pit
go.
Boss, partner of ours, and I'm glad that I can start making some material with them. I have their merch. I got some of their ordered some of their rubs. They got a lot of good stuff. Sauces, rubs. Check it out at Pit Boss Grills, pitboss-grills.com, or just click the link at our site and give us a commission.
Yeah, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers. Like
Just
I'm
stay away
start
from trees and dry stuff.
I'm starting with the pork shoulder because I'm like that can't be that difficult.
No, it should be pretty good there.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll try ribs next, but let's get through the pork shoulder first and make some nice pulled pork. I had to buy some. The thing I miss about living in Chicago, there was a really good barbecue place there, and they made this spicy Texas barbecue sauce that I for a while I was heckling them on social media to make them available for shipping online, and they wouldn't do it because they said they can't guarantee the freshness of shipping it across the country. And they're
Fair.
just like, you're just gonna have to. They literally told me you just have to move back to Chicago. I'm like, eh. So I have to go in a couple of weeks, so maybe I'll swing by and get myself a couple of bottles of their Texas sauce and cross my fingers that it doesn't get destroyed in my checked bag.
Yeah, speaking of Chicago, we got Indy Racing World Series coming up. I might have a little bit of a Chicago themed livery for the season.
You do.
There'll be a,
Is Chicago even on the schedule?
it is not.
You got the Chicago themed car, but no Chicago land on the schedule.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna find a way to kind of poke IndyCar and be like, hey, this needs to happen here.
I mean, NASCAR could be back at Chicagoland next year. That'll be crossing fingers for that.
Yeah, if they end up back there, it's gonna turn into pay attention to Carson Hocevar's social media since apparently he's spoiling everything.
I think they purposely sent him there.
Probably.
Like there's no reason why you're racing Atlanta and Carson Hocevar is like he wasn't even jumping fences, by the way. Like he pretty much like just walked right in. And I don't think the security through there would be that lax, but I don't know. We'll see.
And speaking of IndyCar and
Yeah.
hopefully going to Chicagoland at some point, how about the Iceman? 21
20
straight seasons with a win,
and one off of Alex Palou making an uncharacteristic mistake. Actually, I think he did it twice.
too. Yeah, there was one a little bit earlier than one there, just a few laps to go that even announcers were like, is something wrong with Pelot? Then he went back and watched it. Oh, he just got off track.
He just made a mistake. Oh no.
And Scott Dixon with the win.
Well, Scott Dixon last year crashed on the first lap. Speaking of crash
It
on the
was
first lap,
his hybrid wasn't working right.
yeah, yeah, that's what it was. That's right. It was the hybrid failure. But the Graham Rahal, poor Graham, made a comment to the press this week about the "I'm sick of the I can't, he can't drive" comments. And then what happens in the first lap at Mid Ohio? Is he crashes into the back of New Garden.
Well, no, it wasn't even on. Rahal was innocent in that.
Was he really? It looks
Yeah.
like
Newgarden was braking going into that turn because they do the start kind of
yeah,
there on that back stretch
correct.
to
Yep.
um just try to smooth things out. Newgarden locked up and lost it, and it actually ended up clipping Ray Hall to take him out.
Really? I have to go back and watch it again. Is it send me
Yeah,
at the
Graham, it looked like stuff, but yeah, Newgarden just lost it on his own.
all
The
right.
car rear locked or something, and I think that's one of the downsides with the hybrid. There's so much more weight in the back that if you get it any sort of squirrely, that's why we see the cars coming around so easy. But yeah, Newgarden lost it on its own
Ooh.
and ended up three or four other cars took damage in that. I know DeFrancesco's in that. Ray Hall
I mean, he was going to be in
got
it
taken out.
in something anyway at
Um,
some point.
someone else was involved too. I forget who.
The the I don't know, just kind of the big takeaway is on how dismal of a year Team Penske is having. And
Oh, it was terrible. I think they lost all three drivers pretty much. Because I know Palou went
it's
out
happened a couple of times this year.
and Scotty Mack had issues too.
And you've got the Team Penske haters out there saying this is straight up karma, which I mean,
Can't say they're wrong.
it certainly feels that way. Like it's been a brutal year for Team Penske. I mean, I don't think Penske's had this bad of a year in IndyCar and
Yeah,
maybe
IndyCar's been
ever.
awful. Even what their IMSA team got busted for something
Yep.
last month. And last year they had all those issues. Joey Logano's webbed glove at Daytona.
Oh, that's right.
They've just been nonstop having issues. We'll call them issues.
Yeah. But again, I still argue that if you take randomly pick five cars out of the field and take them back and rip them apart, you'll probably find something on three out of five.
Yeah, probably very, very subtle things, but
I mean, it's like that's the whole thing with motorsports. It's always pushing the limit.
it'd be nice to see maybe a little bit more wiggle room and some tolerances just to get the cars a little bit more to having to drive them instead of just
Or you mean get away
guide
from a
them.
spec series?
Yep.
So we got Iowa coming up this weekend, a double.
Yeah, Newgarden likes that track, so we'll see if he can rebound.
They haven't
Are
finished
we?
repaving. They still
Oh,
just have that one lane paved, don't they?
yes, as far as I know.
Have
Are we going to
you
see a parade again, or is it? Did they
ha,
learn last year and know how to get around now?
have you been out on Iowa and iRacing lately since the
No,
season?
but I will because it is in this next season.
Yeah, so they give
Actually,
you
no, I take that back. I think I was out there just a few weeks ago.
yeah, they got the one lane option out there now.
I don't think I've been out since the patch, maybe.
I think you can still get the older setup, but yeah, they give you an option for let's see. But yeah, they have the one lane of repaving, which just finish paving it, please.
Make for some great racing if they do.
Let's see here. Let's set up an event here real quick. New race. While we're killing time here, Indy Racing World Series, as you mentioned, is back next Tuesday, the 15th.
Yep. Kicking off at Michigan and then following up the next weekend at Laguna.
We got a double Michigan week next week.
Yeah, not done intentionally. The intentional thing was actually putting Laguna on the 22nd because it's my wife's birthday and I will not be in attendance.
Well played. I
So I don't have
I
to worry about getting ready for the corkscrew.
I've been working on it actually the last couple of days, and I'm still like I haven't run a clean lap. but I'm like 7 or 8 seconds faster per lap than the last time. And I was, dismally slow. So it's just like, okay, I've almost got this figured out. Yeah. So when you go into iRacing, your choices for Iowa are either oval, which is the updated scan with the single lane, or you can do the oval 2011, which apparently that was the last time it had been scanned.
I
Interesting.
don't know. We may need to talk and official decide. Do we do the new oval or stick on the 11?
Oh, good question.
I feel like if we put it to a league, they're gonna say go to the new one to maybe get me reined back in.
I vote the new one. Can't run away again, Mr. Newgarden over here.
Yeah, somehow I've just been able to run Iowa and not have tire wear, and this year I'm gonna like wreck out on lap 5. So there you go.
I'm just glad that I missed half the season in the spring because of my broken foot, and I'm just like I can't. Like it was so the timing was so nice because I didn't have to miss much anything on Wednesday Night Dash because I finished the league out. One was Atlanta where it was like no break at all. And that was the day I actually broke my foot. And so I did a race that night with a broken foot. And fortunately, it's just there was no braking needed, but it's just like I'm trying to like brake in this IndyCar. And what was the road course last season?
Um, oh, where did we go?
I don't remember. All I know is I didn't do it because I'm just like my foot hurts so much doing this right now.
We were at Belle Isle for
That's right.
one.
Yeah, uh,
Hopefully this doesn't
Mid
change
Ohio.
audio. Oh yeah, Mid Ohio's one that you
Yeah, well, I
stopped.
yeah, I did the Belle Isle one, but yeah, it's just Mid Ohio. It was like the week after I broke my foot, and then the following week was Indy, which was my wife's birthday. Thanks a lot for that. Uh, but
And we'll fix that next year.
I finally got back out there for Auto Club, and but it's just like, all right, I'm ready to run. Let's do this, and
Now,
hopefully,
in defense, I have actually set races on my birthday in the past, so
well, it's your birthday, not your wife's birthday.
I'm gonna get yelled at so much
That's
after
fair.
this.
That's it. I get yelled at,
I just hear a laugh coming from the other room.
and it's just like I'll get the. Does she? I have to say this so she can hear it. Does she say that? You talk to DJ more than you talk to me. Apologies for the impression. That wasn't meant to be mocking anyway. In any way,
She's just laughing right now.
because she knows it. I get it all the time. It's. I think you talk to Eric more than you talk to me. And the one day I was just not like feeling it, and I said in response, I'm like, "Oh yeah, because she's actually interesting to talk to." And that right there is why I broke my foot. No, I'm just kidding. That's I did get yeah, I did get a verbal tongue lashing for
Yeah, I'm sure there's some days if she didn't tell me, it feels like that.
but I've been married
Well, I got the
actually
confirmation.
next week I will have been married 13 years. So lucky 13 for me.
I was there on day one.
You certainly were. And my kids start school next Wednesday actually. So back to
That
school already.
seems crazy.
It is crazy, but I today I assembled a smoker in my backyard when it was 115 degrees, and I had to stop like halfway through, and I'm just like I might die if I keep going here. And I just like walked over and just like jumped in the pool. Just stood there for like 5 minutes, and then I got out and I'm like, okay, back to work. We're good.
See, you're lucky you have a pool,
I
so
do.
you can do that.
I am lucky in that sense, but uh cost of maintenance of owning a pool is not fun.
No, I don't want one. As
The
nice as it would be, I do not want to own a pool.
I swear the pump in the summertime adds $100 a month to our electric bill. not exaggerating. And we don't even
I
run it
believe
that
it.
much. I don't run it that much. I mean, I run it the bare minimum to keep the pool clean, and I'm pretty confident it adds $100 to our bill every month.
I believe it.
But we gotta have a pool. We gotta have a pool. Yeah. It's fun when you're shopping for the home and then you realize how much it costs and spending $100 a month on a pool guy, $100 on running the pump. You're using it. I mean, we do use it quite a bit, but I some of it's because the kids are in it constantly. So whatever.
It's a quiet week for Wednesday Night Dash and off week to go into the finale and nothing for Indy yet. This
Nope, but
next week
we
is the season kickoff.
you did
Though we
return to
did
the
go at
track
bottom
this week
for it.
though.
It did.
Did not go
Lasted
well.
for about 3 laps.
Last well, it
Actually,
last
like 2 3/4, 2.5.
I got dumped by a bad push right after crossing the line for lap one. And
Those ARCA cars are squirrely getting pushed.
yeah, yeah,
Reminds me of Toyota.
yeah, that's for sure. It's just, and the thing too is like you may be lined up perfectly straight, and then that car in front of you gets a little squirrely, and you go off center, and you're screwed. And
They're kind of safety
that's why
in
I
the
don't even
long
try
run.
to I don't try to actually like bump the person in front of me. I'll keep close, but I'm not bumping them because I just feel like I cannot consistently, you know, bump into you without risking taking out everyone.
It's a little bit easier in the next gens and the trucks.
I don't think the Xfinities were that bad.
The Xfinities, I think, were okay too. The Arcas are definitely driving like the Toyotas because they're a little bit pointed nose, and if you're not fully square, you're sliding off of them.
You just get slightly off center. Yeah, you're just screwed. And I mean, the good news though was because I was 4 seconds behind the next pack when you guys had your big wreck, I just cruised right through and somehow managed to work myself. I think I finished eighth.
Yeah, I think that's right.
A no caution Daytona race getting turned across the grass on lap one. No damage. I just went across the grass, lost the field, and still managed to walk out of there eighth. I don't know if I can ask for much more than that considering the circumstances.
Yeah, I ended up 12th. I thought I was gonna avoid the bigger part, but a car behind me got bumped into, who then hit into me and spun me. So hopefully he listens to this. I am formally protesting time for you, as I told him I would, for wrecking me.
I was coming up very quickly on Connor. I was just flying around trying to just catch up with everybody. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm catching up. I'm like, Connor, I'm coming to push. And he's like, I have no front end. I'm like, all right, never mind.
Yeah, he had no front end and he stayed out there.
It worked out for him. I think he walked out of there ninth or tenth, something like that. So
Yeah, his brother Chris won the race,
he
so
did.
congrats to him.
Yeah, I got to work with Hunter. We got to fix the ATVO isn't lining up on it. I don't know what happened, but it's like it's supposed to like when he goes to the replay, it's supposed to fill his monitor, but it only like put it up in the corner. So I have no idea what happened there. So I gotta,
That's odd.
yeah,
I
it's just
haven't watched the race yet.
yeah, it's doing some quirky things. I don't know what, we may just have to recompile the broadcast file and send it to him. But
Yeah, we're coming back to racing Tuesday and Wednesday. Not sure when I'll jump in Monday again, but we'll see.
I'm gonna do Monday races when, I mean, we got a couple weeks off for Wednesday, and I think I might jump in on a couple of those. I'm probably gonna sit out the next one. Yeah, I think I'll probably run two. I'm gonna definitely run the finale at Phoenix. So I feel pretty good about that. It kind of scares me when you come up to turn three and four of Phoenix in the ARCA car and just kind of not a hard braking area, but it's still a decent braking zone going into three. And I'm very interested to see how that will go on lap one. It's almost like I just want to start in the back and Hopefully maneuver my way through the chaos, but we'll see.
So far, it seems like Split's been a pretty fun
It
series.
is.
Some good stuff going.
It's the inexperience is there for sure. And but that's, that's what we asked for. We want inexperienced people. We want to get people out on the track. It's not a whole lot different than the official ARCA series in iRacing. It's just, the difference is you're going to race against the same people every other week. It's broadcasted and hopefully less toxic than the official ARCA series, which is pretty darn toxic.
Yes, unfortunately. But league racing is fun, especially with the same people. And as it's shown with Wednesday Night Dash, we're laughing about stuff. Indy's looking to be a pretty fun season.
I'm excited for it. We're gonna have our big. Are you gonna do the 4 lap qual for Indy to end the year again?
Yes, I will. It'll be a four. Our Indianapolis race is a 250 miler, so it will be the 4 lap average for qualifying versus just our standard 2 laps on
It's
time.
it's a good way to end the season. It's almost like ending the year with like Auto Club or Michigan in the spring, and then ending the fall with Indy has been a good deal, I think.
Yeah, I want to check with you, maybe the league at some point of maybe if we flip it, so that way our user 250 lines up a little bit closer to the end of May. Maybe get a little bit more hype into
Mm,
the race leading into the 500.
yeah, yeah,
But
that's a good
it's a
point.
lot of fun to do it at the end of the fall season too.
Yeah, do you look at there's certain tracks where it just attracts an audience, and with Daytona's obviously one of them. Indianapolis is another one that just like we had a really good audience for bottom split. Well, not the best quality of racing by any means, but that's why it's called bottom split. But still, people tuned in to watch, and we thank everybody for doing that. We really, really appreciate it.
And I think we're gonna have some good fun with Indy this season and some good viewer counts. It's a really kind of flowy schedule. Laguna and Portland will be kind of the
Rain,
odd ones, but
rain, rain.
yeah, teased it. It may be a possibility.
Gotta do it. Rain, if it's not like pouring rain, I had a lot of fun testing Portland in the rain. Just like a
I think
steady.
if anything, it just needs to be some fun where it's gonna rain like a little bit before the race starts and for just a little bit at the beginning and then let the track dry out
Well, it's Portland. It
for
may it
some
probably
tighter
won't dry out.
decisions.
The I was told it was Lucas Puntarelli said, "I'm surprised you didn't put Portland into the Xfinity schedule in the fall for Wednesday Night Dash." And I said, we'll save that one for once they roll out the rain tires in NASCAR. Oh, can you imagine that? But we're going back to the Roval this fall.
Give me 1 second. I gotta take a quick timeout.
Timeout.
Saw a bug.
The big bugs. Yeah. Florida bugs.
They're not
The
Australia bugs, but it's Florida.
Now, Florida bugs, Arizona bugs. I wanted to put a palm tree in our backyard, and I was told no because palm trees attract scorpions. And I'm like whatever. Like you live in Arizona.
They're gonna be around.
Granted, like knock on wood, we live in an area that doesn't have rattlesnakes, which is kind of like my biggest fear of moving to Arizona is I don't want to ever encounter a rattlesnake. But uh, I mean, we do have snakes around the property. They're like these little. They're called thread snakes. They're pretty
Yeah, no
harmless, and
thanks.
my kid picked one up, a dead one up, and brought it over to me the one time when she was like 3. Held it in my face. She goes, "Daddy, what's this?" Like, Jesus Christ.
Get that away from me.
I'm like, I slapped it out of her hand. I'm like, "Don't touch that." And she's like looking at me like, "What? What happened?" I'm like, "Oh, dead snake. Gross." Oh, snakes. So, all right, I think we're gonna go ahead and on that note, wrap it for tonight. And as usual, thanks for tuning in. Visit fracingonline.com. And congratulations to John Jarvis, by the way, the winner of the William Byron diecast. It's en route to him.
Yeah.
Should be there by now. I went to drop it off in the post office over the weekend, and I went to the main post office nearest me, and like they have that little pull down to drop your
Yeah.
package in, and it when you dump it around, it dumps it into a big bucket. But when too many packages are in there, you can't get the stupid thing open. And yeah, that happened to me. So then I had to drive to a second post office, like another 10 minutes away, and that one worked. I'm like, but I've done that before myself, where I've dropped a package off and jammed the chute in the front. Like you gotta have a better way to do that, please.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah, you jam and you're just kind of like, all right, I'm out of here. See you. Sorry.
Well,
But
as long as it's on the way, that's what
yeah,
matters.
it is en route. So at FR Racing Online on social medias, give us a follow and catch you Tuesday for the Indy Racing World Series season premiere and the Wednesday night dash finale.
We'll see you out there. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.